The most successful prison is one without bars, without walls or fences, one with no barriers at all. A prison where the inmates don't escape because they don't know they are prisoners. In such a place, there is a desperate search for meaning to justify a deep despair. A question that only makes sense to ask in a place as polluted as this. What is the point of it all? In this prison, it is necessary to create God to answer this question. And the unsatisfactory answer is to some better than nothing at all. Allow me to explain the true nature of man, the prison in which he is placed, and the God he is settled for in place of true happiness. It begins with an analogy that is closer to the truth than people might like to admit. An animal placed in captivity will experience fear and despair. The world outside is where he belongs. It is what brings him meaning and happiness, and he will do whatever he can to escape. An animal born in captivity will experience the same fear, the same despair, but he will cling to his cage tighter than ever. He will not see his cage as a prison, but instead as protection from the outside world he has never known. His despair will be a reinforcement that if he is fearful in a place where he is protected, what chance does he have in a place where he is not? People are the latter. We fear death and violence. We fear pain and our own destruction. We see our homes, our cities with their rules and protection as a comfort instead of a prison. We create God to justify our misery and simply accept that our purpose is beyond us to know. But the truth is we are not miserable because we are weak or unable to cope. We are miserable because we are deprived of our birthright. Our bodies and minds were forged from eons of death and destruction. Kill or be killed, fight or flight. This world that we fear is the very one in which we thrive. The truth is, we can handle any hardship. It is sitting dormant that is unnatural. When we sit idle, we atrophy. Our very soul disappears. But every so often, as we sit in our prisons, a rare glimmer of light shines through the bars, a moment of enlightenment. It may come about from a near-death experience, triumph over adversity, or even something as simple as a piece of music that brings us to tears. We will often mistake this glimmer for the grace of God, and with our misplaced faith, we remain in our cage, accepting this small morsel of divinity, but never asking for more. We see it as a gift from God, for Him to give at will, but never for us to take. Our faith in Him is strengthened, and the bars of our cage thickened. It is sad that we cannot have as much faith in ourselves to see this fleeting enlightenment as proof that this other world does exist, and to have the courage to venture into it. I believe very much in faith. You must to seek out a world you have never known. But it is faith in myself, faith that I can handle more than I think I can. To be the one born in captivity to escape. God is for the ones that remain in the cage. He is the last hope of the desperate. He can never bring happiness. He can only make it acceptable to live in misery.